Hi, ready.
Hello. Hello, Angie.
Hi, I saw your message on the bottom, Pranish.
Let's wait a couple more minutes to see if anyone else would join. Okay, so let's wait 1 more minute and then we can start and others can join as we go. Okay, so welcome to the community meeting of the Hiero SDKs. As usually, we will go through the agenda from top to bottom, starting with the SDK updates. First, we have the HIP 1261 and HIP 1313. It's pushed to consensus node version tag 73. Any comments or questions to that? I guess it was this tag was supposed to be released on April, right, Georgie?
I don't remember any discussion about that.
Well, as far as I remember in the SDK team channel, like Keith mentioned that this would be postponed to this tag on April.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So in the next one we have the C++ uh, SDK still working on implementing repo automation. Any insights on that? I guess that's Rob's update.
I know a little bit. I know Rob is still working on trying to integrate some of the automation that we currently have in the Python SDK. Ideally, if I understand correctly, he is trying to more or less consolidate them as much as he can into a select few of workflows as opposed to having multiples that just more or less do one task. If I understand correctly, the idea is that he is trying to combine those similar tasks into one automation bot. I know we have the one of the workflows for, I believe it's automatic assignment for issues, but I can double check that. And then I believe he's also implemented a additional workflow, but I cannot remember the name off the top of my head.
Yeah, so I guess this kind of the same status as before. Uh, yeah, I saw there was a PR which Rob introduced this automation bot. I went ahead and reviewed it. Yeah, there's auto assigning issues and stuff like that, like PRs, not issues, I guess. And yeah, maybe there are new PRs, but I haven't actually given a look. Let me just see. Okay. Yeah, so there's a refactor from Rob, which was done yesterday for um to use one script per GitHub event. So I guess I'll be taking a look at this one. Uh, it's relatively new. I'll see the changes here. But it seems that uh, he basically took the work he had before, maybe add a simplified version for this workflow.
Okay. Any other comments on this one? No. Then let's move to the next one. JS, GFI. So last week we were able to fix the issue with building the JS SDK on Windows, which unblocked the GFI initiative. The GFI team, in more particular, Angie was able to like improve the documentation of the README with adding an additional documentation for Windows environment. Other than that, there are some improvements in the build workflow which Evile is currently working on, and it would probably make the build even faster and like environment agnostic, not requiring this Windows step that currently we've added in the README MD, which is good because currently it takes too much time to pull because it pulls the consensus node repository in the SDK, which is super slow. It takes about an hour probably. And this is actually the cause for the issue with Windows with long path file names. And when we remove this from the build step, this would make it like more environment agnostic and what won't need this special Windows environment prerequisites, which is another improvement on top of that. Any other updates from anyone else?
Yeah, we also started doing the 1313. I've made the classes, but we can't run the so with because the consensus node made a PR with the implementation for HIP 1313. But every time I try to assemble basically to build the consensus node, it fails. So yeah, that's from my side also, and that's pretty much I think from JS.
Okay. Anything else? Good.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
I just wanted to say, with the new merge of the README and the agnostic fix, I think the GFI is good to move forward with a possible issue audit and creation of good first issues for the JavaScript SDK.
Yes. Okay. And the next topics I see are from Hendrik probably, but he is not here, so I'm not sure. Does anyone have any insights on this?
If I understand correctly, for the code owners, I think they are working to give specific permissions, and trying to consolidate some of the groups. But beyond that, I don't have any further updates.
Okay. So for the V3 updates, last week I saw that there were some PRs for the JavaScript guidelines from Henrik about having strict validations in the classes and all the APIs. Basically, JavaScript is this freedom language that doesn't have type safety, but this freedom always leads to shooting yourself in the foot. So, and having many bugs. And this is actually, I like this idea that we have these guidelines for with the validations for the non-null checks which he added. So this was, I guess, probably make the API more robust and like having less issues in the runtimes. And that's pretty much about from my side, as far as I know, for this one. Any comments? Yes, Angie?
Uh, the if we're moving on, from V3, if there were no comments, I had seen something in one of the Discord channels about a mention of Code Rabbit. I wasn't sure who brought this topic up. I didn't see it in the agenda, so I wasn't sure if this was something somebody had wanted to discuss. Again, I just saw it in the channel, so I just didn't want to forget about it if someone had wanted to speak about it or talk about it.
Which discussion?
It is in the GFI support team channel.
In Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe Rob had said something regarding it. and it had informed me that somebody may want to talk about Code Rabbit. I don't know who it was or if that person is here though. I wasn't sure if maybe it was someone in the JS team that had wanted to talk about it. Or maybe if Ivan, I'm not sure if you're aware. It was just one of the topics in there. Again, just wanted to make sure it wasn't skipped over if someone had a question about it.
Yeah. Ivo, do you know something about this?
No idea. This
I
some kind
think
of
it was in other group. I think it's not in DFI. It was in Python SDK or something.
Yeah,
I
we
also
have
don't
code.
remember.
Oh,
We
sorry.
have in Python SDK, but I think to improve that, we have something discussion around that to improve its accessibility around Python SDK, and then moving that initiative to every something kind of thing was mentioned in that chat. I think yeah.
Yeah, we have the Code Rabbit in the Python SDK, but I wasn't sure if somebody had wanted to see like a demo or if they wanted an explanation as to how you would structure the Rabbit to review anything that they would want reviewed or more reviewed um, pertaining to each SDK. So for the Python SDK, in regards to Code Rabbit, we've gone ahead and added Code Rabbit like critique instructions almost. So it is for the token classes. So PRs that are related to the token classes are a bit more, I guess, thoroughly reviewed by the Rabbit as opposed to just a general review. So I wasn't sure if that was one of the topics that were brought up by the JS team or if that had been just a question he had gotten from someone. I just didn't want to skip over it if someone was interested, but if nobody is aware, we can go ahead and skip over it.
Well, maybe it's a good idea to have a demo and see this code rabbit in action because I haven't used. I'm
Yeah,
aware of this tool and I would like to see how it can be helpful.
sure. I can share my screen. Um, Give me 1 second, and
Okay.
then I'll. So we have it more or less Python specific, but I think one of the questions had been, do we want to move this AI tool into the other SDKs? If I remember correctly, I think there was a general consensus of wanting to move it forward. I think there were some questions about how we would more or less go about that. But let me go ahead and share. And then is everyone able to see the Python issues window or pull request window?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, more or less, you can go in at any point and the bot is automatically set up to review any pull request that comes in, regardless if it is draft or if it is just a general pull request. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find the one that was related to token update instructions, but I don't think so. So we can borrow this one. This was something opened by Abhijit. They are currently working to adjust one of our workflows. But so as of now, we have a GitHub Actions. This is just something that says, hey, make sure to link the issue. When we merge the PRs, it helps us to close the issue automatically versus us having to go in and close the issue with an attached pull request. But here is general. So CodeRabbit kind of does for this, since it wasn't a token class, it's just a general review, but I think this is probably better just to get an understanding. So it will provide an overview and a summary of what has changed. And then it does provide you diagrams. And then, so if you're interested, you are more than welcome to click it. I don't think it'll get any bigger. I have a small screen, so I think for me, this is probably going to be this size, but I can try to. Okay, so it does let me zoom in a little bit, but I can't do anything more because it's a smaller screen. And then, so it will actually go down and it'll keep reviewing. So here there was a suggested comment. So the bot labels it as trivial. It does a very good job of finding trivial, minor, major, and critical issues, and they'll be labeled up here. For some of these, we have marked and resolved. As you can see, Sophie went ahead and resolved this one. For the trivial issues, depending on your SDK needs, you are more than welcome to resolve them on your own. We do, or actually are working on trying to figure out a way of how we want the community members to do this. So do we want them to resolve these kinds of comments on their own? Or is this something that we, the maintainers and committers, would prefer to do just so that we have awareness? But I think for general senses, anything trivial, we do go ahead and let them resolve it on their own, but we take a look at what they've resolved just to make sure it's trivial or minor, so to speak. And then let's see, sometimes it does, this is a good one. So this one here found a major issue. It does suggest a proposed fix, so it does not leave you in the dark in terms of what am I supposed to fix. If maybe you're stuck, it does provide you a helpful solution. Again, just one of these things to take and keep in mind for your SDK. Every SDK is different, so the CodeRabbit bot is not. It does a very, very good job, but sometimes it is a little bit more thorough than you would like it to be. So if there are any instructions or anything specific, if anyone has questions about that, I'm happy to answer them. I will show you the how to edit the instructions as well. That is just a small file, super easy, nothing complex. Again, it does find another major issue here. So I think this does a pretty good job of trying to capture the full essence of what exactly the bot does. It does a great job. Again, sometimes it's a little too nitpicky, so feel free to resolve those at your leisure. But I'll just scroll through the whole PR here just so that everybody can get an idea. And then the bot does re-review. So for example, if someone makes a new commit, the bot will go in and it will either resolve the comments if the user has resolved them already, and it will give you the specific commit. If not, they just remain open until someone manually resolves them or the fix has been implemented in a new commit. Sorry, have allergies today. Um, and then here's an example of a minor issue that it found. And then again, it'll go in if there is another commit. So if, for example, someone makes another commit in the next few minutes, we may be able to see that bot go through. Um, if not, that's okay. And then I'll go ahead and show the file that does the instructions. So here is the set of instructions that the bot uses to review PRs. So this down here are the new token review instructions that we've recently added. So anything revolving the token class does get a little bit more scrutinized than, let's say, a general PR or just a PR outside of the token scope. But we do have specific instructions on, I think there's one other topic, but I cannot remember off the top of my head. And then just comments. We do encourage comments just so that it's easy for newcomers to know what the instructions are for. For most of us, I think we could probably pick it up. But we do recommend comments just so that if there are newcomers and they're interested in working with the rabbit and they want to learn more about it, that they have that good piece of insight before getting started. But I'll just go through. It's a pretty long file, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I don't want to take up too much time, but this is just an example. I will post this here in the chat just in case anyone is interested. And again, all of the PRs are reviewed by the Rabbit. So you are more than welcome to see the rest of those in action if anyone has questions. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, this was just a brief overview. So I believe, I know Rob is doing the automation for the C++ SDK. I am not sure where the C++ SDK is at in terms of how they would like to implement CodeRabbit. However, for the other SDKs, for the JavaScript SDK, we had thought of trying to implement some of these AI tools just to kind of help out those newcomers, get that initial review of feedback, try to fix those issues on their own or to the best of their ability. And then they would reach out to a maintainer, committer, whoever to get their question resolved or get some further insight on any issues that they're working with. But yeah, that was just a brief overview. Happy to go a bit more in depth if needed. But if there are any questions or anything that anyone would like me to answer, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you don't have any now, but you may have some for me later, feel free to ping me in Discord. I'm happy to answer. But I will go ahead and stop sharing and turn it back over to Madeline.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
so in general, thank you for the presentation. I like the idea of having AI tools to do reviews on PRs. I'm a bit, however, I'm a bit worried that these tools can sometimes make mistakes, and newcomers shouldn't like solely rely on those tools, because sometimes it may suggest something that it shouldn't be like changed, but then the newcomer sees that the tool suggests that this should be changed. And yeah, this probably won't be such a common case, but there could be cases like this. Also, the file you showed about the instruction, it's I suppose that's configuration of the strictness of the code rabbit, how much nitpicky can it be, or something else?
So you can design the bot to be as light or as nitpicky as you would like it. Uh, so we are working on trying to find a way to either prevent contributors from resolving the conversations on their own and just leaving that responsibility to either a committer or a maintainer. But in terms of nitpickiness, the instructions file does give you that customizability. With us, it actually, or with Python in general, it actually works out well in the sense that when we do have token related PRs, we we kind of like having the little bit more scrutiny because it kind of goes in and it'll find like if there's an edge case that it feels should be added into a test, the bot will suggest, hey, add this edge case and it'll provide the proposed solution. But to just answer your question, the file that I showed, I also went ahead and shared it in chat. It does give you that customizability to make the bot a little lighter or make it a bit nitpickier depending on your SDK needs. But we are happy to go through and have a separate call if there are still questions about this or if anyone is still a little hesitant or just wants a little bit more information about it. We are always happy to set something up and try to work out any questions or issues that anyone has regarding the rabbit. But to keep it simple, yes, you do have the ability to make it as light or as nitpicky as you desire.
Okay, great. So I'll probably like bring the topic to our team to investigate and see how we can leverage this tool in a way so it doesn't like, because I'm worried that most it will, we need to configure it in a way that it doesn't bring noise to the PRs, but like more or less like value in like more like not to be so nitpicky on some stuff which doesn't like isn't a problem at all. Yeah, we'll need to see how it works and how it behaves to.
Yeah, of course. I will also go ahead and see if I can pull Rob into that discussion. He may have a bit more insights on how the setup would work with the Rabbit for the JS SDK as well. And I will actually ping Sophie because I do know that she also has a little bit of background knowledge on it. But yeah, just let us know.
Okay, great. Anything else that we would like to discuss?
Nothing on my end in terms of all the SDKs. I guess my question would be for you, Venelin, in the sense of, is an issue audit something that you would like to see for the JS SDK? It basically, what it is that we would just observe you and changing the titles and the labels, things like that, just turning those issues into like the proper templates. And also trying to possibly make some good first issues for some newcomers. Is that something that we're okay to move forward with?
Yes, yes, we are okay to move forward with. I'll work on uh, changing the issues to match the templates. I was like last week, I was overwhelmed with working on the Rust SDK, so I'll probably be focused this week on specifically this part.
Oh, awesome. If you decide to make that an open call, please let me know. I would love to be part of that, just trying to get an idea. If you are going to do that on your own, totally fine. I know there's some people that they did suggest doing that, so that's up to maintainer comfort and things like that. So just if something you decide to do, let me know. Would love to be a part of it. But beyond that, nothing else from me. I don't know if Pranush had anything.
Sorry, I maybe didn't understand what did you mean about having this online on a call?
Oh, it was just suggestion. I wasn't sure if you had planned to do the audit alone or if you had wanted to include some of the other team members. I more or less just wanted to be part of the issue audit for the JS SDK if I could be, but if not, and if that's something that is being done by the JS team, that's totally fine.
Well, it's not like I don't think that you can you edit existing issues in the JS SDK? I think.
I can try. I don't believe I've tried before, but I'm not sure. In all honesty, I'm not sure if the JS SDK has the permissions enabled for the GFI team. Uh, Let me see if I can try. No, so it does not let me edit. So any changes that you make to it, I would just either be watching you, if it was something you wanted to do live, or if not, then I'll just go ahead and see them once they're updated.
Well, I'll probably do this offline because it would be like more convenient. I probably will have I won't do them in one go, but I also have some other stuff to do because we have other like priority things in the sprint. But I'll try to be focused as much on this and edit the existing issues. In the meantime, you can help by creating good first issues.
Yeah, of course. Okay. I think we've got a plan and it's exciting. All right, that was it. No, nothing else for me. I'll stop talking now, but thanks everybody.
Thank you. Okay, great. So if there are no other topics, I wish you a great rest of the day.
You too, have a good one.
Bye.